All right, Vinny.
Uh-huh.
So what happened with the radio on the?
Well, what happened was in flight it made a noise and immediately throttled back for a landing. And as it come by us on a rollout while the engine quit. And I went over there and was very curious to see what was wrong. I turned the switch off and I can only rotate the propeller 180 degrees. It just stopped. So internally something broke and it prevented the crankshaft from turning 360 degrees. And I sent it back to Horizon and they didn't even open it up because they're not able to take those engines apart. They're restricted from doing that. So in consequences, they sent me another brand new engine, which I received here this last Friday, yesterday. And if that don't work, I'm going to get my money back and get something else.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
We're going to have it back up this year?
It seems like every October I get to get one flight out of that airplane because it takes that long to break it in, and winter comes and you can't fly it.
Yep.
And so we'll see what happens here, but I'm not going to mess around. I'm going to really look at the structure of that aircraft and see what I can fit in there, because there had to be some major modifications to the front end, which I'm trying to avoid.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll get something. I'll have an engine in it, so we'll fly it after all the time I spent building it 2.5, 3 years. So the airplane flies fine. I got to fly it this time from Scott, and it flies like a trainer, really. It isn't that critical. You can fly it rudder only.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like it flies great.
Yeah.
Just get the motor straightened out.
Yep. Yep.
Should be a good flying
airplane. So I guess right.
Yeah, this needs a minimum of 2 wings. I'd put a couple more on the top if you can.
Well, if there's nothing happening here, I probably could put one right on here.
Put one right there. Yeah. What kit is this again?
Huh?
What kit is this again?
That is a German kit. It's I can't think of the guy's name right now. It comes out of Germany. You get it through Goats there in North Carolina. It's about a $2,500 kit.
No kidding.
Yeah, and it's very complex because they do everything in little pieces instead of having one big long thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of a lock construction that you had to be very careful, because if you lock one part of it, then you had to unlock it again to break your glue joint. The instructions were very minimal. It said it was for an advanced builder, and I found out I don't think I was an advanced builder, because
You're not advanced enough to build this kit?
I had to do things 2 or 3 times. One of the hard part was the landing gear. Working at Odeo, I had to take that to a machine shop to get that working right. I was short a lot of wood, and it was all in millimeters, and I've actually taken some balsa wood and sanded it down to a millimeter to make it fit like in different balsa parts. It's all plywood, mainly plywood, and everything is laminated. The longerons are laminated. You can't tell it here, but at the front they've got about 8 or 9 laminations, and then at the back they maybe got about 4. The real airplane had tapered tubing on it.
Yeah.
About 1.5 inches front and 1/4 inch back to make it light. And that's why it was such a great aerobatic air. I beat the hell out of the pits for a long, long time until the pits began putting 200 or 300 horsepower in it. This thing only had 150 horse in it. That's all it had.
Huh.
And Alec Papana, back in the 30s, came over to this country, and I got some videos of him. Well, he flew so low upside down that the rudder caught on the ground and he had to land it upside down. And that's the one that Mike Murphy bought and owned for quite a few years.
No kidding.
Yeah. So that's quite an airplane. Yeah, the guy was a professor at Bucker. I forgot what his first name was, but he was quite an engineer, and everything he had was ultra light and ultra strong, but complicated. In other words, anybody can take a piece of wood and glue it up, but when you start
taking the bulk out of it and still maintaining the strength. That's what the guy was good at. So, and the model was about the same way. Everything you see here, this is all laminated. Everything is laminated on this airplane. There's 1, 2, 3, there's 4 laminations here. I mean, and that is strong. That is strong right there. Now this is balsa here, but these here are laminated ribs with cap strips on top of them. And this here is a laminated bow with balsa, and I CA'd the hell out of it and sanded it so it'd be nice and strong. So it's quite good.
It's a pretty airplane.
And then you had to bend all these fittings. All these fittings here up here for the wings and the wires. And the way I did it, I had one of these little wood vise that you crank up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a bar and masking tape, and I took it and I just bent it. I made a dummy so I could bend it right to it, and it come out pretty good. But it took me longer to make all that than it did to actually bend the stuff. So you go with that. So that takes a long time. And then these doors here, they come out here. Let's see if I can get this up. And then this got J.A. resting. That's the way the real one was. And that's the way his airplane was. And then there's a full-size panel in the thing. And then here's the radio gear back here. And everything, all the wires, everything is 12 and 16, but it runs in this foam. This runs down beneath the seat, and then right there's a duct on the floor, and it runs so I try to hide all the wires so you can't see any wires in there. Yeah.
Pretty. Well, I need to quit bugging you so you can get the wings on this thing.
Yeah. I think I'll get some plastic or something later on there. I need to get the wings off. I got just about how many pins?
Will you quit touching? Quit touching.
Just let me get this cable right. There we
You're
go.
touching.
That was bugging me.
It's just like when we go to the Air Force Museum. You can't help.
Yeah. I can't help but touch history.
Well, just don't touch Vinny then.
As long as I don't make history sticky, we're good to go.
I can't use that.
We'll find a way.
What the hell is my surgical tools here?
Surgical tools.
Here they are, right here. Oh yeah, you got it. This is surgical tools right here. You really got it. This is done by feel.
Fred, can you keep the helicopter down? I'm trying to record over here.
There you go. Yeah, give me a little bit more throttle.
You got a little bit flooded. Okay. Richard in hell, but that's okay.
The ailerons are sluggish.
Oh, you got it down with minutes.
Give me high rates.
That would be up.
high just a little bit for you. There you go.
I remember you got to put the towel on, I guess, too. Yeah. So you may want to put your weight on it and just put it on there. All right, do that. Do that. We all heard that, right?
Yep.
Something doesn't sound right.
Something came loose.
You don't suppose my weight come loose.
You're gonna have to go around.
It's all right.
Quit on its own.
It's okay. I'll go get it.
Plenty of gas. Something came loose.
I don't know. I'll get her back.
Get her back there and take a look.
Diagnosis.
Don't know yet. Something came loose.
Yeah, it sounds like something that's a little hot to be touching yet. We got some here, Vinny.
Yeah, that's the one that was on when I was on the workbench. Remember I said
Okay.
that one was leaking. I know I was going to get that shit all over. That's okay. I haven't got.
It quit on its own.
I know. Let me see here. Yeah. Now it's off.
Well, if the plane's off, the ignition's off on that system, but
Yeah.
still.
But you know when you turn it on.
Tight. There's something wrong there, right there.
It seized.
No kidding.
It's not seized. It'll go past it if you push it, but it's
Yeah.
feel that.
Yeah, you got something in the engine, Vinny.
She popped.
Oh. Oh.
She's done.
What the?
I can't believe.
Don't even force it past it.
I can't believe it ran to get to the ground.
What the?
Right on the ground the other day, remember?
Yeah, it's turned over fine.
Hold on. You got that push rod right here. The whole push rod's
Yep, you
bent
do.
in.
Yep.
So you
Good eye, Wolkie.
most probably seized something. Valve met
Valve
piston.
spring broke.
No, looks okay.
Yeah, because they were all checked out just fine.
The valve most probably met piston. Something didn't turn, and that's why she's bent. Yeah.
That was a bad spot.
I can't believe it ran to the ground like that. For as hard as that is.
That was a bad spot.